In this video, I'm going to be modeling for you how to partition a number line so we can then place fractions on it, and then also looking at a number line and interpreting what fractions it already represents. So here I'm going to be putting these two fractions on the number lines, and then here we're going to interpret this one that's already been partitioned and try to figure out the values here. So just like we would with a regular bar model, we would draw the whole and then we would partition it into eighths because of this denominator here. So I would use my halves to make fourths to then make eighths, and then I would shade in 3 of the eighths. So I started with my whole, then I partitioned, and then I determined what 3/8 was. We're going to do that same process here on the number line. So I'm going to draw my whole first. So I'm going to make my whole, and our whole is, since we're doing less than 1, 8/8 would be the whole is being used or taken away or whatnot. We are going to use one whole here, so I'm going to label it from 0 to 1. And now since my denominator here is telling me eighths, I need to partition that into 8 pieces, 8 equal pieces. Now some third graders like to draw a bar on top, since that's what they're used to using, and then kind of use that to transfer down onto the number line, and that's totally fine. So I'm making eighths, so I'm going to use my halves first to then make fourths and to then make eighths. So, and I can double check that by seeing, do I have 8 equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's important that I'm not counting the little lines here. That's just what I use to break apart or partition. I need to actually count the units. I need 8 equal units. So I have that. Now I'm going to label all of my eighths here. So this is actually 0/8. This is 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 1 would be all 8 of the eighths. So now that I've labeled all of my eighths, I can then, use some kind of symbol to show that I know where 3/8 is. So I can put a star there. So right here is where my 3/8 is. And I can also notice that here, that if I start at 0, I've hopped 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, right there. I'm going to do one more example for you here with 2/6. So again, I could draw a bar on the top, or I could just use it once I put my whole on. So normally I would draw my whole, partition it into thirds, which then can help me make my sixths to show my 2/6. So here I'm going to do something very similar. I'm going to draw my whole. I'm going to label my whole from 0 to 1. Then I'm going to partition it into thirds. That can then help me make my sixths. Now I'm going to label all of my sixths to then help me find my 2/6. So I have 0/6, 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and one whole is all 6 of the sixths. So now I'm then going to show that I know where this 2/6 is, right there. One common mistake I see third graders making is they want to label inside of here. Each little piece is 1/8. So I need to make sure I'm labeling the value of what, if I was traveling from 0, 3/8 is. Or here they might want to say this is 1/6, 2/6. Well, this here is 1/6, and that's also 1/6. So I'm traveling to the 2/6, which is that actual spot right there. So that's placing numbers on the number line and partitioning it when we have this open number line. Now I want us to analyze this number line down here. So here, someone has already partitioned this number line, and they want me to find the value of A and the value of the star. So first I need to figure out what fractional unit did they use. So again, I don't want to count the lines. That's what they use to make the fractional units. I need to see how many units I have. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. That means I have eighths because there are 8 equal parts. So now I know that this is 0/8, and that means this is going to be 8/8. So the value of A would be 1/8. So A is 1/8. And then if I keep going, that would be 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8 over here for the star. and that makes sense because I have one more hop would get me to all 8/8. So go ahead and use this when you are partitioning a number line to place fractions or when you're having to interpret a number line that's already partitioned. Make sure you make that whole of 0 to 1 first, and then think about what denominator it's telling me what fractional unit to use, partition that, and then label all of the eighths or all of the sixths or all of the fourths, because then that's going to make sure that I'm finding whatever it is they're wanting me to find.